So let's see. We have. I'm going to try to order these in kind of like the order that they're in the game, just to kind of help me out and stuff. These cards are the same, although I think these guys look cooler. Okay, so Pokemon teams. So over the generations we've had a few of them, and not all of them are good, not all of them, but a lot of them are really great. And so, yeah, we're gonna talk about them. And what better way to start than the very first people, Team Rocket. So I'm gonna kind of judge. I'm gonna judge every team by the video game lore and not the lore of the anime or the manga, as that is, since different things happen in all those. Also, I am not going to use Rainbow Team Rocket or Team Rocket Rainbow, whatever they're called. Like, I'm not gonna judge them because, like, from my understanding, it's just Team Rocket, but when they succeeded, I guess. So yeah. But yeah, Team Rocket. Let's start with them. I think Team Rocket is A tier. They definitely set when Team Rocket first came out, of course they're the first team, but like I feel like Team Rocket did set the bar for I think they set the bar for like what evil team organizations were to do. Like what did they do? Like they were poachers. They moved Pokemon around and they were selling them off to the highest bidders, right? Like, I'm trying to think of the word. I'm trying to think of the word here. What word am I looking for? Trafficking. They were trafficking Pokemon. They were Pokemon traffickers, and alongside that, they also went into a lot of like, they were specializing in like technology. Like, they're the reason why Mewtwo was around. They took the thing. They hired scientists to essentially make Mewtwo. They either hired or blackmailed Silph to make the Master Ball. And yeah. On video game lore, yeah, I agree with A tier, good scheme. Yeah, exactly, like, he was good enough to be a gym leader. Not to mention, like, Giovanni was a gym leader, which was a good way to kind of, like, mask his, scheming around. Like, it was all really good, yeah. Wait, who the fuck's calling me in the game? What? Interesting. That's funny. But yeah. So yeah, I think Team Rocket, I know they're like the fan favorite of the series, but like A tier I feel like is where they belong. They set a good bar, and they're really solid team. Aqua and Magma, I'm actually going to kinda... Team Aqua and Magma, in my opinion, are just the same team, just reskinned, and I kinda want to put them in the C tier. They're not a terrible team. The problem with them that I have is that the moment that they got what they wanted, they folded. They had no idea what it is that they wanted to do when they awoken either Kyogre or Groudon. Like, are you gonna tell me that you spent years scheming this this whole changing the world to either more land or more sea. And when you finally wake up to one legendary that can do that, to do the thing that you want, you have no idea what you're going to do with it. In fact, you get so scared that, like, you elicit a child to go fix your mistakes. And then you admit to yourself and your rival team that this was all a bad idea. Like, not a good look in my opinion. Like they're fun to like have in a team, but like they're just eco-fascists that don't know that know what they want but don't know how to get what they want. And even then, I don't fully agree that they know what they want. So yeah, I'm placing them here on C tier. It's where I feel like they belong. So, Team Galactic. This is personally one of my favorite teams. I feel like they're A tier. I really want to put them in S tier, but like I think A tier is kind of where they belong. Excuse me. Because Team Galactic, if I'm not mistaken, the whole point of Team Galactic was that they wanted to make their own world. They wanted to make their own universe. And the thing about that, like, I can't recall what all they wanted to. You know what? As much as I like them, I think I am going to put them down in B tier, because like I can't, on top of my head, think about what they were going for. Like, I know that they want to make a whole new universe, right? But they never really go into why they want to, other than possibly rule it or something. Like, yeah, they want to reshape the world. Like I said, they're personally my favorite team, but that's probably because like Gen 4 was probably my most played generation from when I was a kid. But yeah, like it's kind of really hard for me to justify them being an A tier. Although the name of the leader it kind of flees from my memory, but he was a fun boss. He was someone that was really fun. Also, like, I'm trying to figure out what they did to like hide themselves, because they had fucking science stations everywhere. Like, they had a huge building in one of the main cities. They had several bases in other cities that weren't disguised. Like you knew that Team Galactic was there. So, yeah, that kind of pegs them down, because, like, if anyone was doing any real... Yeah, Cyrus, that was his thing, thank you. But, like, if any, like, Pokemon Ranger, police, or any type of authority needed to look into them, they know where they're at. They know where to find them. You know what? I'll give it to Team Aqua and Magma. Even they knew not to tell the authorities where they're at. So like I'll give Aqua and Magma credit on that part. At least they didn't put fucking landmarks where they live. Team Plasma. So, I know that Team Plasma, there's kind of like two groups here, but we're just going to use one for this. S tier. Like, S tier in general. Like, Ghetsis literally uses N to try to uses the idea of Pokemon liberation to rule the world. And the only reason he falters is not because he didn't know what he wanted or because of any failing on his part. He falls because N realized what Ghetsis' plans were. And that to me is great. That's great storytelling. Not only that, Team Plasma is a really scary group. Cause like if you go, so I recently beat Black 2 like a week or two ago. And like, if I'm not mistaken, they experiment on Pokemon. Like their whole idea is to experiment on Pokemon and like just do what they can with machines. Like, if Pokemon, like if the Pokemon Company, if Game Freak were to ever make a cyberpunk-based Pokemon game, Team Plasma would be the first team that I would suspect they would use, or it's because it was Team Plasma that got us to the future of cyberpunk in Pokemon. Like, like I would believe that it was Team Plasma technology that got us there. So yeah, S-Class for Team Plasma, like they're fun. They knew what they wanted and they did not falter. And even Ghetsis comes back in Gen 2 trying to finish what he started. And like, that to me says a lot too about the actual team itself. Team Flare, yeah, where I didn't see this when I first grabbed this tier list, but yeah, like, what can we say about Team Flare that hasn't been said before? Like, they're I don't know what Team Flare was trying to do. Like, at first it seemed like my first impression of Team Flare was that they were fashion police. Like, that was my very first, they were my very first impression on them when I first fought them in X was fashion police because of how they looked. Flare, like the post game with Emma, but so okay, I didn't know that they had anything in the post game. After I beat the Elite Four, I kind of just dropped X. So I'll have to play X and then play the post game because I didn't know that there was an actual post game war with Team Flare. I thought after you kind of beat the main story thing, they were done with. But yeah, like, so Team Flare, from my understanding, is that they wanted to get this ultimate weapon from 1,000 years ago. And I don't know if they want to rule the world with it or destroy the world. Like, it was kind of a mix of both. And like, and also you can't tell me that what was his name? What was the name of Team Flare? Can't remember his name. Lysandre? Lion Hairman, yeah, like, yeah, this guy here. However the hell you pronounce that name, hang on. You cannot tell me you didn't think of him as a bad guy. Like, seriously. Like, you can play Spot the Villain, put him there with all these other villain characters, and he's the first one you point to. Like, you can send him up to Joker, and people are still gonna point to him as the villain. Like, he's so obviously the villain, and he tries so hard to befriend you, and every time that he talks, I'm just like, dude, what is your real scheme here? Like, what are you trying to do? Quit calling me on my phone, let me do my thing. Honestly, if he had, like, his whole plan would have worked if he had actually shut the fuck up. Like, I'm gonna say it, like, if he did not talk to you at all, he would have succeeded. He could have gotten to his ultimate weapon and then just blown up the world because he had actually shut the fuck up. Like, that's actually my opinion on them. Alright, so this is probably gonna be a controversial take. Team Skull is A tier. And here's why. They took over a fucking city. Like, that's like they're essentially Pokemon, they're essentially Team Rocket B. They traffic Pokemon and they go around stopping people, they're trying to keep people from doing the island challenge. And they took over an entire city. Something that none of these teams have done. Like, I can't think of any city that Team Plasma taken over, or Team Galactic, any of these guys. At least with Team Rocket, they seized a city, like they seized Celadon when they were taking over Silph. But like, that's all they did, they seized it. Team Skull actually took over a city that is theirs. Like I know that Team Skull is kind of like people might have liked it enough, but like, I know that when Team Skull were first introduced, people were like, oh no, this is like the worst team, even worse than Team Flare. Which, I don't think you can get worse than Team Flare, honestly. Like, I don't think you actually can. Alright, Aether Foundation. I'm a little stuck where I want to put these guys. Oh, not there. I like the Aether Foundation. If Game Freak were to come out with a cyberpunk-esque future, not only would I believe that Team Plasma got us there, I would also believe that the Aether Foundation had a part to do with it. Because Team Aether not only has like this whole advanced technology shtick that Team Plasma does, but like, they're trying to control Pokemon. Like, they're wanting to keep Pokemon in the wild and like habilitate them and stuff. Like, that's the mission that they give and that they say. But what they're really doing is trapping Pokemon. They're trying to control Pokemon from being put around or being given to trainers. And then they're also researching into wormholes and extra-dimensional Pokemon. And so I'm stuck between A and S with them. I kind of want to put them at S, just because their mission. I'm kind of going through Ultra Moon right now, and I haven't finished it yet. But I have finished Sun before, but that's been a couple years. If I remember correctly, the reason why they failed as a team wasn't necessarily due to their own fault. It was because Lily, the one that had the Cosmog, they couldn't stop trying to get it. Like they were playing Jesse and James trying to catch the Pikachu, and that's kind of, and granted they couldn't let Cosmog not be free. Like they absolutely need to get Cosmog so that they can finish up with their experimentation. But that was kind of their ultimate downfall, was because of Lily. So yeah, S tier for them, because like they knew what they were going for, they knew their end goal, and they weren't afraid of the results, of their end goal, because they knew what it was going to be. Ting Yell, probably another controversial opinion, but like I'm stuck between A or B. I kind of want to put them in A, but they might belong to B. So like, I actually like Team Yell. I think Team Yell is a funny villain team that aren't even villains. Like they probably shouldn't even be on here, because like they're just a fan group. They're a fan group for Marnie, and all they were trying to do was keep trainers from finishing the gym challenge, so that Marnie didn't have to deal with people, or deal with trainers that could potentially beat her. And honestly, like, they kind of succeed. Like, you don't see a lot of gym trainers in the or I say gym challengers at the end. But at the same time, though, you don't see a lot of you don't see any in general. But like, they're supportive about their leader, Sis, which it is sweet in a way. Like, it really is sweet. Honestly, I think I'm going to go with Team Yell because they succeed in their mission. Their whole mission is to be supportive, and that's it. I'm not gonna put them in S tier, but like I'm definitely gonna put them in A tier, because like their whole group. It is the whole point of being supportive, and that's what they do. How they even help you fight against Chairman Rose. So I see your reason to, yeah, exactly. And plus, they're just kind of funny in my opinion. Okay, so technically, Chairman Rose would be next, but like, so let's be honest, it was just Chairman Rose. There's an argument that, what's her name? Oshana, what's her face? This person. Her? There's an argument that she is also a villain, because like she helps Chairman Rose and all of that. But I'm just not gonna tier them. It honestly, if I were to tier them, they would actually be in D. Actually, no, yeah, we'll go ahead and tier them. They're D. Like straight up, Chairman Rose and his whole idea is D category, because yeah, the crazy sanctuary bit, yeah. So why is he in D? Why Chairman Rose, his whole idea is his whole shtick was that he wanted his whole idea is analogous to climate change, right? There's this thing that's happening because of this environmental effect, and if we don't stop it soon, in 1,000 years, it's going to cause damage to the world that's going to be permanent. That's very analogous to climate change. And I actually agree that we do need to take steps into changing climate change. Chairman Rose doesn't take the steps to do this. What he does is he exacerbates it. He wakes up Eternatus because Leon hurt his feelings because Chairman Rose really wanted to make sure that we stop this thing that's gonna happen in 1,000 years. So like, but here's the thing though, Leon, if you actually watch the cutscene, Leon never says not to worry about it. All Leon does is say, hey, let's wait until this season's over. Like, the gym challenge is kind of basically a sporting event, right? Like, it's like football and basketball and all that. It's a sporting event. They run a season for 6 to 8 months, and then they wait a couple months before the next season starts. And they were at the end of the season, like we were at the championship, and all Leon was asking is like, hey, let's wait until after the season's over. Tomorrow's basically the last day, or the last week, however you want to put it, and then we can work on this. We can start setting up policies. Setting up movements, so that we can start working on this thing that's causing damage. And no, Chairman Rose decides that no, I'm going to waken up Eternatus. We're going to make this problem that's going to happen in 1,000 years happen today, right now. Like. Where in the thought process did you get that to fix a problem that it's going to happen? How are you going to come to the conclusion that it needs to, in order to fix the problem, is to make the solution is to cause it right now? Like that's like scientists coming up to that's like environmentalists saying, hey, in order to fix climate change, we're going to not just pollute the environment, but we're going to exacerbate it by completely taking down all the regulations for it. Like, it doesn't make sense. It does not make sense at all, and I need to move on from them because it really pisses me off of how anyone thinks this was a good idea. Someone's calling me, what? Weird. But, yeah, so yeah. That's my opinion on them. Alright, Team Star. So, my impression on Team Star is kind of interesting. When I saw the whole bully thing, like when I saw that there were the bullies and stuff like that, I was kind of intrigued, because like, the idea that, oh, the evil team is actually this group of bullies. And they were a huge group, like we're talking a huge fucking group of just bullies. It was kind of intriguing to me that a group of 5 people managed to get like an entire school to join them. But there were bullies that were supposed to be anti-bullies because they themselves were bullied. Like, it was kind of interesting. I kind of liked them. I want to put them in A, but I think I'm gonna have to put them in B. Not because, so like, they knew what they wanted for their end result. Their end result was to be accepted and no longer be the bullies, but they lived long enough to become the bullies. Like, yeah, exactly. Their team is Fight Fire with Fire. So like, I put on a B not because they're a terrible team, but because like they knew what they want for their end goal, but they were not at all going towards that end goal. Like, they were doing the complete opposite of it. Like, they were keeping themselves as the bully. But, yeah, that's it. This is my, tier. I still love the fact that, Team Flare just had its own tier here because, like, everyone agrees that... I don't know. You know what? If anyone in the comments, because this is going up on YouTube, if anyone in the comments can actually tell me why Team Flare should be on any of the other tiers, put it down below. Like, I'm kind of curious what y'all would... I'm curious what arguments y'all would put up. But yeah, this is my tier list for the Pokemon villains, and yeah. Also, I was really hoping that like Team Snag'em or Team what is it, Sylph? Yeah, Team Sylph. I kind of hope that they were on here, but maybe later I could bring them up. Might make my version later this... It is a fun discussion, it really is. Actually, you know what? No, we'll do some bonus hearing real quick. So, Team Snag'em and Team Sylph, okay? Team Snag'em, I would actually put at a B, and Team Sylph, I would put at an A. Even though they're both sort of the same. The reason... So, Team Snag'em made... From my understanding, Team Snag'em literally made the technology to steal Pokemon that were in Pokeballs. Like, how... What kind of badass team are you? You made technology that could override Pokeballs to steal Pokemon that are attached to different Pokeballs. Like, not even... Like... Team Rocket would spend billions on that type of technology. Like, they would absolutely spend so much money for that technology for themselves. Team Plasma and Aether Foundation would spend billions for that technology. And yet, here's Team Snag'em in a fucking desert of all places. Like, I think they're supposed to be like in Arizona. That made this shit. And it's going around using it. And then you have Team Sylph, who... Okay, so, granted, I have not played, Gale Darkness yet. That will be coming after my, Generation 2, my Generation 2 Living Death, because, I had to play Gale of Darkness for the Living Death for Gen 3. But from my understanding with Team Sylph, is that these guys are what Team Rocket is in the manga. Like, they've... Not only do they steal Pokemon, they're the ones that created Shadow Pokemon in the first place. They're the ones that literally made the Shadow Pokemon. And we're going around, putting these Pokemon as prizes in Pokemon tournaments and giving them away. And Shadow Pokemon were scary. Like, they're the type of Pokemon that, like, you do not want. They're the killing machines. if you've ever seen Pokemon for Life, the movie with Celebi, that dark Tyranitar, that is the closest thing to a shadow Pokemon that the anime has ever gotten to. Like think of that. That's what we got that's what Team Sylph made. And plus, apparently in the storyline, they also took over a city. Granted, it's not the same as Team Skull, where Team Skull literally took over a city and kept it. Team Sylph literally kidnapped the entire city, trapped them underground, and were disguising themselves as citizens when you went in to investigate. Like, tell me you're a badass team without telling you are a badass team. Like, I'm kind of tempted to put them up in, you know what? No, I changed my mind. Team Snag'em is in the B tier. Team Sylph is in the S tier, because he had Shadow Lugia, the Shadow Moltres, Zapdos, and Articuno, along with other Shadow Pokemon. Like, his entire team, it was a team of Shadow Pokemon. So, yeah. That's my tiering system. I hope y'all enjoyed. Yeah, hit that like button, subscribe if you like my content. I'm hoping to post more content on here soon. And, yeah, comment down below what your tiering system is, and if you have any, and if you feel like Team Flare, has been given the F too many times, and you want to, give them some justice, put it down in the comments. Thank you, guys.